He wants congressional approval before he takes any military action in Syria.
And joining us tonight to talk about his concerns is local Congressman Scott Peters. The Senate gave him that approval. Of course, the House will be making their decision a bit later. Where do you stand on all of this?
Well, I'm still looking at it, and I'm really trying to pay a lot of attention. And I think it's something I think about every minute of the day. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure that there's a good answer. So on the one side, we want to support our president. I grew up, with the understanding that whoever your president was, whatever party he was the president of the United States. He deserves our support, whatever party. And we don't want to send the wrong message to our friends or our foes internationally that we're weak or that we won't step up when they need them. Mm-hmm. At the same time, I haven't found anybody, hardly anybody in the district, the people I've been talking to, and I've been home for a couple weeks, who is excited about another conflict. And I think there's a lot of reservation about getting ourselves involved in another quagmire.
Mm-hmm. So, as you said, most people, the polls at least, show that most people are against getting involved in this thing. Is that going to affect your vote in any way?
Sure. I mean, I think, part of it, look, when I'm going to be weighing the evidence, I'm going to be looking specifically at some classified documents when I get back to Washington, D.C. I'm going to get a classified briefing. That's part of my homework. But part of what I need to do is listen to my constituents. And I'm listening very hard, and I think that there's a real concern, there's a fatigue, there's a concern also about the questions I've asked, which are, what exactly is the objective of a strike? What happens next? And how do we prevent another long, prolonged conflict like that the two are just trying to get out?
So you're leaning toward a no vote?
No, I'm undecided. I understand the arguments about not looking weak to our enemies and not looking like we won't be friends to our friends. I just have a lot of concerns.
There is a lot at stake, not only for the world, for the country, but for us here in San Diego.
Yeah.
1/3 of the Navy's Burke destroyers are based here in San Diego, where those cruise missiles will be shot off of, across the bow, if you will. When you see those pictures of our ships heading in the Persian Gulf toward trouble, what goes through your mind?
Well, I'm so proud of San Diego's role in our national defense, and I think I think we all are. I do think of that. In fact, this morning I was able to observe the Crucible, which is the end of the Marines training up at Camp Pendleton. You go up at sunrise, and these kids have gotten off a 54-hour hike. Where they've only had a little bit of sleep and a little bit of food, and it's when they come over that hill, they come down to a ceremony which I attended this morning, where they become Marines. And my wife went with me, and it's a very, very moving ceremony. And I came away with two impressions. One is that you hate to send these kids off into conflict that's not warranted, and the other is I really trust them. I think that these are Marines that are well trained. And will keep us safe. So I take this very, very seriously. I'm going to go to Washington a little bit early so I can get that classified briefing, and I can be back in touch with about what I think.
President Obama drew a line in the sand. Do you think he will go ahead with a military strike even without a congressional vote?
I don't know, but I doubt it. It's interesting that he asked for our input. I think I'm not sure that he had to do that as a legal matter, but I do think that it promotes a good dialogue, and it promotes an understanding of where the country is. And I can assure you that everywhere across the country, people like me who are talking to their constituents while they're home, and they're getting input, and I think that's probably good in itself.
All right. Well, we shall see. Congressman Peters, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll be talking to you again.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Well, we